Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, said that he would attack Iran in hours. Yeah, fam, he said an attack on Iranian territory is imminent. It's going down. Can't nobody stop it. I made up my mind. We're going in there and we are going to cause a bunch of death and destruction. And then, just like that, he changed his mind. Yeah, this guy right here, if indecisive was a person, right? That would be this guy right here. And there's some other words that we could use, but we're Christians, right? So check this out, fam. Here's what he said in his failed Truth Social network in a post. Based on the fact that discussions with the Islamic Republic of Iran have been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved, I have, as President of the United States of America, canceled the scheduled strikes and bombings against Iran this evening. Discussions and final points have been made in both concept and great detail, approved by all parties involved, including the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Turkey, Pakistan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt, and others. The naval blockade will remain in full force and effect until this transaction is finalized. Time and place of the signing to be announced shortly. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. As if anybody had to be reminded. There's nothing like the President of the United States of America announcing what the military is going to do next against its enemies. It is absolutely amazing how they do that. Fam, think about this. Imagine you got beef. Let's say, I know you're not a gang member, but let's just say, I ain't gonna go that far. Let's just say you had beef with a neighbor, right? This is something relatable for everybody, right? Let's say you got beef with a neighbor. Your neighbor keep playing their music too loud. You decide you're gonna put an end to it. That's it, I've had enough. You done went over to the house, I don't know how many times, knocking on the door, telling them to turn the music down. Sometimes they turn it down just a little low, but not enough. And then sometimes they turn it off. As soon as you get in the house, get comfortable, start laying in the bed, everything good. Next thing you know, the music is blaring again. The music is blaring. So now what do you do? What do? You decide to put an end to it. You call your neighbor, you say, you do it one more time. I'm coming over there and I'm going to do this and that and the third. In fact, let me flip the script. What if your neighbor did that to you? Your neighbor called you. Let's say you were the troublemaker and your neighbor called you and said, do it one more time and I'm coming over there. What if the neighbor just said, look, your last time was your last time. I'll be over there sometime tonight to whoop your mother. What you gonna do? You just gonna be sitting there like a duck? Or you gonna make some moves to handle that when it happens? You gonna ambush him, ain't you? You better, because it's gonna be either you or him. This is just a bad strategy to me. Trump is really indecisive, and you can't believe anything that he says. You can't believe anything he says in regards to the military. You can't believe anything he says in regards to the economy. You can't believe anything that he says in regards to campaigning. You can't believe anything he says. Trump has resigned to doing whatever the hell he wants to do. He knows he can shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and still get away with it. He knows that people will still be standing and supporting him. He knows that. That's problematic. Where are the checks and balances? That's what I need to know. I find it ironic that Trump's so-called imminent attack against Iran comes on the heels of the Epstein Files being pushed back to the front of public discourse. Yeah, I find that extremely ironic. See, it just, I can't just think of your president. Like, I can't say this. I can't believe that. I just refuse to believe that a president would start an actual war to distract from some sex files. I just find it hard to believe. You know, I don't believe Donald Trump is capable of something like that. I mean, he's one of the good ones, right? I mean, his wife loves him. His children adores him. He's from New York, and as far as I know, everybody in New York loves him. Like, you know, he's had a good life. You know, why would he do something like that? Why would he do something so diabolical? Why would he start a war? War is permanent, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, war is something. It's a different level. You ain't seen terror till you've seen war. So why would he do something like that? I mean, cause the loss of life and billions of dollars worth of personal property damages. Why would he do something like that? Just to distract from some so-called sex files where people are lying on him and stuff. People just making up stuff about him being with little girls and choking little girls and forcing them to give him, you know, fellatio and, you know, assaulting them. And, you know, the radical left, man, they need to leave this dude alone. But anyway, fam, I just refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. The president of the United States is an honorable man. You know what I mean? It's the president of the United States. The position is the highest office in the land. It's a prestigious position. He wouldn't dare risk that prestige or the honor of the Oval Office. He wouldn't dare do that, you know? So I don't believe it. I do not believe it. But what I do believe is America is going to hell in a handbasket. America is going to hell in a handbasket because there are no checks and balances. There is a two-system judicial party here. There's one, in fact, there's more than two. I would say that there's three. There's one for white people. There's one for other people. And then there's one for the oligarchy. Those are the people that call the shots. Those are Donald Trump bosses. And, you know, he's in there too, but he's not at the top of the food chain. He's the figurehead. He wants y'all to believe that he's everything, he's the alpha omega, but that ain't it. He has bosses. There is no one man that has that type of power anywhere. Not one man. It would be too easy to eliminate that one man. So there is a collective group of people who call the shots. And you can do whatever you want to do. You can go out there and as the president of the United States, and you can have your personality. You can have certain platforms. They give you one or two things that you can be passionate about just to keep your morale up, right? But then everything else is part of the agenda. So one of the reasons they use Trump is because Trump cares about nothing but money and attention. You see? So they know just feed the beast. Give him some money and attention and we can control him. He'll do anything we tell him to do. Remember when they fixed the election and Elon used to be in the White House all the time. He used to be in the Oval Office with Trump all the time. And Elon would do more talking than Trump. Now, you know that's a no-no. But because Elon rigged the elections for Trump, he had a lot of say-so. And Trump couldn't understand how to navigate through that process because he usually just tells people to shut up and he takes command of the room. But he's thinking probably to himself that Elon might expose him if he go too hard on him. So let me back up. Elon has done a lot for me. I owe him a great deal of gratitude. So let me just fall back and play the role. And then it seemed like to me somebody got in his ear and said, "Hey man, dude out of control, you need to take back over." And so, Elon got phased out and Trump got back to doing what Trump do. Be a disturbance, be a divider and conqueror. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.